How can you crave closeness and fear it at the same time? Sound familiar? Imagine someone who genuinely wants to be with you. They can be passionate, attentive, emotionally close. They might even tell you, "You're everything to me." But the moment you actually get close, when intimacy becomes real, they pull away. Not because they don't care, but because closeness feels dangerous. This isn't a personality flaw. In psychology, this pattern is called anxious-avoidant attachment. Research shows it affects about 15 to 20% of adults worldwide. Craving closeness and fearing it? This isn't a game, it's not manipulation, it's usually not a conscious choice. Attachment research shows that avoidant reactions are often automatic responses of the nervous system, formed in childhood, long before adult awareness. Overall, about 40% of adults show insecure attachment styles, meaning their relationships are often guided more by threat detection than by a sense of safety. This isn't about ill intent, it's about learned survival. When you understand this, many confusing reactions start to make sense. Here's the key pattern. First, approach. Warmth, intensity, a sense of deep connection. They seem fully engaged. Then, sudden withdrawal, coldness, distance, disappearing. Meta-analyses showed this pendulum is especially common in people with both high anxiety and high avoidance in attachment. Important, the distancing isn't about you, it's triggered when closeness exceeds a certain threshold. When intimacy feels too high, the nervous system signals too close, too risky, and the body instinctively pulls back. Even care can feel like a threat. For many anxious-avoidant people, support isn't neutral. Studies show people with high avoidance often perceive help as a threat to autonomy rather than comfort. A gift, emotional support, or affection can unconsciously translate into, "Now I owe something." Dependence equals debt, and dependence used to mean pain. So care can provoke distancing or irritation, not gratitude. Not because they don't value you, but because their system equates closeness with vulnerability. And if care feels threatening, imagine how the future feels. Long-term plans trigger one of the strongest anxiety responses. Research consistently shows that people with pronounced avoidance struggle to discuss shared futures, moving together, commitments, or long-term plans. For secure attachment, "we" expands connection. For anxious-avoidant attachment, it can feel like a trap. Not because they don't want to be with you, but because commitments threaten their core sense of safety, the ability to leave if things feel too scary. Here's the paradox. They flee not from something bad, but from something good, one of the most confusing experiences for partners. After warmth, harmony, emotional closeness, the person suddenly provokes conflict, grows cold, or disappears. Psychologists describe this as emotion regulation under threat. When everything feels too good, the nervous system perceives the situation as unsafe. Stability is unfamiliar. Distance is familiar, so it feels safer. The system unconsciously generates tension to restore distance. Not because happiness is unwanted, because it feels unprotected. And when conflict arises, something even more frightening happens. Under intense emotional stress, anxious-avoidant people often deactivate. Research links avoidant attachment with emotion suppression, numbness, and withdrawal under stress. They may go silent, appear empty, detached, respond, "I don't know," or "it doesn't matter." This isn't punishment, it's the nervous system overloaded. Deactivation is the only way to survive the moment. So what does this mean for you? If this describes your partner, it doesn't justify the pain, but it explains why love alone isn't enough to remove fear. If this describes you, it's not a life sentence. Long-term research shows attachment styles aren't fixed. They can change through awareness, therapy, and experiences of safe relationships. Understanding replaces self-blame with clarity, and clarity is the first step out of survival mode. This isn't about labels. It's about seeing the fear behind the mask and realizing you can learn to feel safe.